Hello everyone, meteorologist Jordan Darensberg here. The time is now 7:39 or 7:40 on this Thursday evening, and I wanted to come on here to kind of give you all a brief update of how everything has been, because it has been an interesting evening, especially north of the KVU area. Now, what we are going to show you right now is a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect, and that's until 11 p.m. for those counties in the darker pinks. That's the entirety of the hill country, as well as Williamson County, because of the threat of hail and damaging winds. Now, we are tracking this one storm that is about to cross into Llano County, and this has triggered what's known as a special weather statement. Now, this is a step below a severe thunderstorm warning, but as you can see, it includes the city of Llano, as well as Lake Buchanan and even far western sections of Burnett County. Now, we were watching a storm over portions of Lampasas County that was tornado warned for the potential that could be extended into northern Burnett County. However, as you probably see with this radar scan right there at the top of your screen, that system just rapidly weakened, and now we're just left with this system about to cross into sections of Llano County. Now, taking a look overall across our region, we're expecting our severe weather outlook to be a 2 out of 5 slight risk for pretty much the entirety of the hill country, western Williamson County, as well as western Travis counties. And hail is the main threat. There is no question about it. We have had multiple reports just north of the KV viewing area of some large hail being recorded. And that hatched area explains it very, very well. That hatched area actually means that we could have significant hail of up to 2 inches diameter and greater. So we're going to be really paying attention to this as well. And I do want to mention that the wind outlook also has a 10% wind outlook for today and this evening for those same areas. So not only are we talking about hail, we're talking about damaging winds as well. Now, what we're going to be doing real quick is we're going to be taking a look at some of your comments on Facebook or Twitter to see, Facebook or YouTube, excuse me, to see what you guys are saying. And we'll see, if anybody has any comments on that. Now, let me turn this down real quick. Here we go. So let's see what you guys are saying on Facebook. Maribel Scott says, wee, but that's about it. But not really much going on with this storm right now. Let me go ahead and get back to it real quick. This is right there over portions of, about to cross into portions of Llano County. It's over extreme southern San Saba County at this time. Let me load this up for just a sec. There we go. And that's in effect until 8:30. Dillon Barrington, it looks like this storm is going to miss Bell County entirely. Nathaniel Areola is asking if hail is the new normal for Austin. It seems that way. It seems that way. Let me take myself back full here. Yeah, it seems that way, but any mode of severe weather is fair game in any system at any given time. It's just been hail, damaging winds, hail, damaging winds, hail, damaging winds. We haven't really seen that tornado threat here locally so far this spring. Let me move myself here so y'all can see the radar from this TV while I'm talking to you all. Because there you see it, about to cross Highway 16 in extreme northwestern Llano County. I think it's about to make its way along Highway 71, just off to the north and west of Llano there. And that's going to make its way into Llano within the next, I would say, 45 minutes or so. Now, Burnett. We have, while we're looking at Burnett, it looks like the storm will kind of miss you unless we get some regeneration of that storm along that line. Alina, I'm not going to read that comment. Let's not say stuff like that. All right, cool. Jennifer, if you're asking about Temple, this storm is likely has missed you entirely. Liberty Hill, I think this might miss you entirely. Cottonwood Shores, I think it'll probably be just off to the northwest of you. Ebony's asking about Austin. This is likely going to miss Austin to the west. Now, Travis County is not under a severe thunderstorm watch. I do want to put that out there, by the way. Pflugerville, you're not in that severe thunderstorm watch either, so I doubt you're going to get a storm, but you could have a pop-up storm that could be on the stronger side, but not necessarily severe if you're east of I-35. Chris is asking about tonight's timeline, so we're going to go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this full once again, and we are going to go through our timeline together. And it's going to be very, very slow. This is at around 7:30. This model hasn't really picked up on it well, but it kind of has picked up on it well, but not really. But by the time we get to around 9 o'clock, that's where you see that storm start to make its way through Mason and Llano counties. And then everything should start to dissipate by the time we get to around 10, 11 p.m. So Lockhart, Luling, Lee County, Cedar Park, nah, you're not going to be in this. Round Rock, you're not going to be in this either, Maria Garcia. Let's see who else is asked. Who else is asked? Robert, San Marcos, yeah, you're not going to be in this. If y'all were tornado warned, yep, Lampasas. Yep, Corey, I did mention that we did have a tornado warned storm that passed through Lampasas County. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can take y'all far enough back on the radar to kind of show y'all what we're talking about here. Let's see, we're going to do the last couple hours here. And this is the Lampasas area right there behind me. And as we go through around, let's see, here's at around 5:48. This is moving from the Mills and Lampasas counties. This is when that storm got tornado warned, right as it crossed into Lampasas County. Now, Lampasas County had that tornado warned storm. The rotation kind of did something weird. It kind of tightened, then loosened again, then tightened back again right as that warning was going to expire. And then watch this as we go through 7 p.m. Everything started to just fall apart right as it got to Lampasas, as Corey was mentioning. Now, Marble Falls, Alita, maybe in the next, I would say, hour and a half. Elgin, you're not in it. Bastrop, you're not in it. Gerald, don't expect to be in it. Fredericksburg, maybe around 9 and 10 o'clock. Georgetown, that's going to be difficult, honestly. Kingsland, you might have an outside shot at this at around 8:39. Could new storms pop up? Possibly. Sarah's asking a good question. Liberty Hill, yeah, Marissa. Liberty Hill, outside shot maybe, but I think y'all are going to be out of this. Colleen, this is already past y'all. It's going to miss Bell County entirely. Lakeway, it's going to miss y'all. Round Rock, I already mentioned, it is going to miss y'all. San Antonio, it's not going to even get to you guys. So I do want to mention that. Cedar Park should be okay. There's no real issues going on. Cedar Creek, y'all in Bastrop County, I don't think this storm is going to affect y'all. But Holland, it's going to miss y'all. So if think about where you are real quick while we get this graphic loaded up. If you're east of I-35, don't expect none of this to come your way. All right? This is going to be a hill country situation. We're not looking at places like Bastrop or Taylor or Elgin or Cedar Creek or Luling, Lockhart. If you're east of downtown Austin, don't expect anything. I would even argue along Lake Travis, probably not. Marble Falls, maybe, at around 9:30, 10 o'clock, if that were to happen. Johnson City, we'll wait to see how this thing holds. But if you're generally in the coastal plains, you're in the clear. Unless something were to pop up, and we'll track that for you. But don't expect anything tonight. Y'all have the lowest end severe threat. Y'all do have that 1 out of 5 marginal risk. It's not 0, but it's much lower than what we've got in the Hill Country. The Hill Country has the majority of all of the energy needed for those storms to fire up. So that's why we're focused on the Hill Country right now. Now, Chris, my pleasure. Round Mountain, Highway 281. That's way out by, yep, way out in northern Johnson County. Y'all, looks like y'all have an outside shot at it. What I mean by Georgetown will be difficult, meaning it's going to be difficult for the storm to try and make it to Georgetown. I think I should clarify that. It's going to be difficult to make it to Georgetown. It's a huge long shot. It's about as long shot as the last horse into the Kentucky Derby, but it's still a chance. It's just very, very slim that Georgetown could be involved. But if it is, we'll let you know. It's pretty much how I have. Johnson City, Katie Puckett. All right. Looking like it'll probably be between 9:30 if this storm doesn't make a turn. So I would watch this Johnson City, but I think this is going to be the only complex of storms we see tonight. So Kingsland, that's a maybe. Kingsland looks like you guys are in Llano County, of course. And so, yep, right there just south of Lake Buchanan. I do think y'all might get some of this. We'll wait to see if this becomes severe warned, but if it does, we'll let you know and we'll tell you all the precautions you need to take. But right now, this storm is on the stronger end, about to pass into Llano County. Looks like that storm's being a little stationary right there as it passes through the Pontotoc area just north of Llano County, or just west of Llano County, out in Mason County there. It's passing right through the Pontotoc area, and that storm's really started to bubble up a little bit over the last couple scans. So we're going to watch this. If we're looking at Bertram, that's eastern Burnett County. That's near Wilco. So maybe around 8:39-ish if that storm does grow in size. So the key for western Wilco and eastern Burnett is it going to grow in size? And if it doesn't grow in size, oh, well, hello there. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning now. It is for extreme eastern Mason County. The National Weather Service office in San Angelo saw what I was seeing. And we do have a new warning, and that's going to include far eastern sections of Mason County. And let's scroll to that. It's going to include San Saba, McCulloch, and Mason counties till 8:45. And this is going to include the Pontotoc area. And there it is, just northwest of Pontotoc there. We're going to take a look and see if we've got a good hail core with this. Oh, we do. Right there along Highway 71. Looks like a pretty good size hail core there. It's pretty moving slowly to the south, but we've got a hail core of about 1.5 inches. And let me put this in boxes real quick, kind of show you what we're talking about here. This is pretty sizable hail. So hail of about 1.5 inches would be about the size of this, like kind of about this size. So maybe about, I wouldn't say ping pong ball size, but a little smaller than that. Maybe like $quarter or $half size hail, somewhere along those ranges. So that's what we're watching. Salado, you're not going to be in the path of this. I do want to let you all know. So let me go ahead real quick, and we are going to, and we're going to go ahead and put a tracker on it. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and put a tracker on it real quick. And let's see what the latest details on it are. I'm gonna scroll this back. Here we go. San Angelo's weather office. It's moving southeast at 10 miles an hour. So pretty slow. Maybe one could argue maybe slow as molasses. And so here it is. It's moving southeast at around 10 miles an hour. And we're going to put it at an hour 30 minutes out to kind of see. So we're looking at the Castle area at 9:14, but right after 9 o'clock, this storm could be making its way into Llano. So if you're in Llano, I would watch this very, very closely to see if that storm continues that southeasterly trend going only at that speed. Now, we have seen histories of this storm really start to expand and maybe even drop a brief tornado warning, but we've also seen this storm system kind of weaken rapidly as well. Hence, right before it reached Lampasas, the storm pretty much fizzled out into oblivion. So that's what we've got going on. So Jessica asking about San Marcos. I'm going to let you know right now, San Marcos, I doubt is going to be in the path of this because this thing's going to fizzle out before it gets to any part of Hays County, let alone San Marcos. So this is going to be more of a hill country type of storm. So we're going to watch that very, very closely. So I understand that. All right. Kingsland might be getting it potentially at around 9:30, if I had to take a guess. Let's see. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? I'm also going to start looking at YouTube here too. See if we have any. La Loba Palacios. Taylor, you're good. Taylor, Texas, you're good. You're good out in duck country. Because this storm is not going to reach eastern Williamson County. Let's go ahead and put that out there. So you're pretty much all clear from Georgetown eastward in terms of Williamson County. Kind of clear-ish Leander, Cedar Park, Liberty Hill, Florence, those area, clear-ish. Gerald, I would say clear-ish. Also, I would say maybe Lago Vista, Westlake, areas in western parts of the city of Austin, clear-ish as well. Marble Falls, you could even argue clear-ish as well, but we're going to continue to watch this closely. But if you're east of I-35, you're in the clear. Like, let's go ahead and straight up. Round Rock, yeah, you're in the clear pretty much. Tony, ain't nobody gonna message you. Try again. But anyways, all right. Do we have a new? Oh, we do have a warning for Llano. We've got a warning for Llano. It's going to be for Northwest Llano County. Let's go ahead and hone in on it because it's going to be till 9. And I reckon that this is only going to be moving southeast at 10 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and let's look at the details of it from NWS chat real quick. And it's moving south at, wow. It's moving south at only 5 miles an hour, folks. That's what the Llano County part of the system's doing. It's only moving south at 5 miles an hour. Like, that is slower than Sid the Sloth on Ice Age, folks. But this part of the storm has it reaching Llano by 9:26, almost 9:30. So we're going to watch this closely to see if this thing continues to intensify and move and pick up any speed. But right now, it's moving quite slow. But we're going to look at this hail core here. We need to look at this hail core back near Pontotoc. because it's starting to widen a little bit, and we're looking at still some good sized hail of around 1.3 inches in diameter, so still about $half size, maybe even a little larger than that. 2 inches in diameter, by the way, would be around ping pong ball, hen egg size, that kind of thing. So let's see. Hutto, I do want to mention this, Linda, that Hutto is east of I-35, which means you're in the clear. And I do want to mention this, and I think this is going to be very important. In these severe weather situations, it's important to know where you are on a map, not just within the country, not just within the state of Texas, but within your local county. That way you'll know when I tell you if you're east of 35 or east of 281, then you need to pay attention, that you'll understand, okay, I'm east of 281, I need to pay attention. Okay, I'm west of 281, I might be in the clear, that kind of thing. So in this case, if you're east of 35, you're in the clear, but if not, and if you're just west of it, like say Cedar Park or whatever, then you're clear-ish, if you want to say. So this is why it's important. We as meteorologists work hard for you, but one of the things that we want you to know is where you are on a map. That's going to be very important, especially when there's a tornado warning, which thankfully we don't right now, even though there was one just north of our viewing area earlier this evening. But I just wanted to put that out there real quick so that y'all could understand and know how important that particular knowledge patch is. So, back to storm tracking. If you're in southeast Austin, you're likely going to be in the clear from this. Catherine, thunderstorm, or tornado, yes. What, don't expect. We're just looking at severe thunderstorm warning. It is not a tornado warning. I do want to clear that up. Del Valley, you're east of I-35, which means you're in the clear. And let me go ahead and let's see what we've got going on YouTube as far as our subscriptions and everything going on so far. Let's see who all is commenting on our YouTube videos. Looks like, never mind, the comments are turned off, so we're just going to go back to Facebook. So, is this more likely to strengthen or weaken as it moves? We're going to continue to monitor it. They have a history of both. This line of storms has a history of doing both. So it really could go either way. Now, we are getting close to the sun setting. Now, this is 8:02 right now. So once that sun sets, a lot of the instability is going to decrease. And so, yeah, we have that lifting mechanism with that front. But once the instability starts to decrease, that energy is going to start to decrease, and that's where we see the storms start to weaken. Now, it can still have some strength if it's got all the ingredients in place without the daytime heating, but the daytime heating is going to be very important, and we're going to be losing it as we head throughout these next couple of hours. So we're going to watch this very, very closely. So instead of getting sent. Okay, so Virginia, the question is, if you're in Onion Creek, South Austin, okay, so if you're in Onion Creek, South Austin, you're not in it. You should be all right. Liberty Hill, you're not in it. Most likely, still want to watch it very, very closely. But if you're in, let's see, who else? Looks like no one else has really said anything. Let's see, no one's really said anything right now. But we've got the hail size increasing on this Pontotoc one, just south of Pontotoc. Now we're getting up to around 1.7 inches in diameter, so this thing's starting to strengthen a little bit. This hail core is starting to strengthen a little bit. We're going to watch it to see if we have anything really start to bubble up. There it is. That purple right there shows that stronger hail core just south of Pontotoc. So if you're in northwest Llano County, I would make sure those cars are in the garage or covered up. Our colleague Hannah Rucker, she made a piece earlier this week that's on our website, kview.com, that talks about how to cover up your car if there's not a garage available. And a blanket would be a good conventional option, but it might not do when you've got wind coupled in. Because remember, we also have a bit of a wind threat in addition to a hail threat. So you want to make sure you have cardboard under it. Make sure you have, if you have a bag of fertilizer or something like that, if you have a bag of soil, like what you get at Ace Hardware or any other one of those gardening stores, maybe even in Walmart or H-E-B, I would put that at the roof of your car. And then if you have a bit of a tarp, like a moving tarp, you could put that on there too, on top of that cardboard, and have that supported with that soil bag. That could really help your windshield. Your windshields are going to be the most important thing, because if those are damaged, you can't really drive your car until that's fixed. So something you want to pay attention to. All right, let's see where we're going with this bad boy. So we're looking at this storm. It is moving south at 5 miles an hour. And 290-71 looks like Oak Hill. I think you guys are in the clear. This is moving south at 5 miles an hour. But we're going to be looking at it at around Castle at 9:33. This is going to be mainly over rural areas. I haven't really focused on the timing of this storm as much, because we've been tracking the storm strengthen and then weaken again, and then strengthen and then weaken again. So as much as we want to track where this thing's headed, it's entirely possible by the time it might get to there, that storm might not be there. So that's why, we haven't really focused on that. Kingsland, Roland Cunningham, Kingsland, that is not out of the question for you guys. I think this storm looks like it's going to miss it unless it expands a little bit, or if it takes a little divot to the southeast a little bit, then we could be looking at Kingsland. And even then it would be like a couple of hours, because this thing is moving at a snail's pace right now. So it's not really moving all that fast compared to other systems that we've tracked. A lot of times these storms will be moving at around 20, 25 miles an hour, give or take. But this storm is only moving at around 5, 10 miles an hour. Things really slow moving. So then you start to think about the heavy rain part of it as well. Especially, what I can tell you is that the hill country really needs this rain. Let's go ahead and let's establish that. But, we're focusing on the hail and wind threat. If we get good rainfall accumulation totals, we'll be sure to share that. This is part of the LCRA system, so a lot of the heavy runoff will go into Lake Buchanan and eventually Lake Travis, which is good for those lake levels because they really need it. But Liana Wimberly asking about the city of Llano. Looking like you guys have a little bit of time to prep, but what I can tell you is that that storm, once it reaches Llano, we're going to watch the hail core closely, which, by the way, let's get another update on that hail core. It looks like the hail core kind of shrunk just a little bit, but the one close to the Llano looks like it's dissipating right now. So could be just heavy rain and strong winds briefly. But again, we still got a pretty hefty hail core to the south of Pontotoc there, around 1.7 inches. Got another fellow meteorologist joining in from Boise, Idaho. Hi, Sophia. We hope you're enjoying watching. Kate Moore in Austin. How you doing? Looking like you guys are going to be in the clear. Let's see who else we have. Anyone else asked? Anyone else asked? Looks like we're good right now. All right, I need to make sure I save that particular graphic. I don't know why I didn't save it right now. But yeah, anyways, let's get this over here. Let's get this, hit save on that. Boom. All right, Fisher. Now, Fisher looks like y'all might be in the path of this, but I don't think, really, let me take this max full real quick while I kind of show y'all. Fisher, that's near Canyon Lake. Yeah, this storm's going to dissipate before it reaches y'all, Fisher. To answer your question, this thing's going to dissipate before it reaches Fisher, but looks like we got some pinks popping up just off the Pontotoc, and I think that's that hail core that I've been looking at, and yeah, definitely is. Ooh, looks like we got an even lighter pink there. Let's see if we can click right on it. See how big that thing is. Looking at still 1.7, so we're getting close to 1.8, getting close to that hen egg size territory, and that could be quite dangerous to watch. Now, I bet you all those laugh emojis are coming from the same dude. That's just my observation. But anyways, got that hail core. It looks like it's about to cross into Burnett County now. We're going to see it just to the north of Castle there. It's moving south, kind of southeast-ish at around 5 miles an hour. So let's go ahead. We're going to focus on this hail core, and we're going to see, I think based on its direction, it's looking more so south. Looks like Castle in the next couple hours around 9:13. That's when we're going to watch it, within the next hour, actually. Castle in the next hour, 9:13. That thing, usually when we're looking at these storms, they will be moving a little bit quicker, and so we're thinking maybe about 30, 45 minutes for you guys. This is more so an hour because this thing is really moving slow. And I do want to mention to everyone that across the viewing area that this is the only storm right now that we're tracking. Everyone else is clear right now. We are still tracking that storm in the northern hill country that's packing a good bit of hail, but it's not really doing a whole lot this time. Now, ooh, we got a new scan, and that hail core got a little bigger. Let's see what we've got in terms of hail sizes now. Yep, we're at 2 inches now, so we're going to be looking at the National Weather Service chat here momentarily to see if we've got any particular tags that we need to worry about. But I'm going to take this radar full here real quick to kind of show y'all that it is still going to be quite sizable. So I really need y'all to be focused and paying attention to this storm if you are in northwestern sections of Llano County. So really need to be on your toes here if you are in northwestern Llano County, south of Highway 71. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. we are looking at possibly well, let's see. Do we have a tag on it yet? They'll be increasing the expected hail size, so yep, that's pretty much your update so far. Now, let's continue to watch this closely. That's 1.7 now, according to that latest scan, and it looks like it has started to weaken just a little bit with that last scan. But hail of around ping pong ball, maybe hen egg sized, that's going to be the hail we're going to be looking at here. And so, something we're going to watch it if we're expecting anything going on. I don't see any more questions right now. Looks like we don't have a whole lot going on right now, so we're going to continue to watch this hail core real quick. And I do want to remind everyone that there is a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until 11 p.m. for these counties in the pink. That includes everyone in the hill country, and that also includes Williamson County. But I'm looking at everything now, and it looks like the southern hill country, so Gillespie and Blanco counties, you guys might not have that storm reach y'all before this watch expires. Williamson County, I don't think, but there's a maybe for Leander and Liberty Hill, maybe Cedar Park. But besides that, maybe Marble Falls even. But like, by and large, it looks to be just this one storm system, this one cluster of storms we're watching in the hill country. That could be what we need to pay attention to. And this is a severe warning storm. This is until 9 p.m. This does include northwestern Llano County. And we also have that warning for eastern sections of Mason as well. And that is until 8:45. Slowly easing out of Mason. So it's probably just going to be only a Llano County warning, which will be at around 9. It looks like that scan shows another little bit of weakening. So good news there. But we're watching it very, very closely. Let's see. Anyone else have any questions real quick? Because we're watching the storms start to weaken a little bit more. But we're going to continue to, yep, the hail core is weakening too. We're now down to less than 1.5 inches in diameter according to radar estimate. So we're really paying attention to the hail cores because especially after Round Rock in September, I know a lot of y'all remember that one. We had hail that was up to baseballs, grapefruits, you name it. It was rough. A lot of people's had hail damage, including my girlfriend's car. So it was just rough overall for a lot of people. Now, it's looking like this hail core is starting to continue to weaken here. But again, I do want to mention this storm does have a history. That area of storms, that complex of storms, did have a history of 2-inch hail north of the KVU area. So we're watching it very, 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 very closely. Don't think there are a whole lot in terms of questions right now. So what we're going to do right now is kind of go over the timing of it a little bit more because that's going to be very important. This is at around 9, 10 o'clock. That storm starts to weaken a little bit. And we expect Friday morning to be mostly cloudy, still muggy because that front is going to lift back up through central Texas and then sweep down again as we head through the day Saturday. Now, Saturdays are better rain chance. So we're expecting more widespread rain on Saturday, especially Saturday evening into Saturday night. Too early to say if there's anything severe, but right now it's looking more like a heavy rain threat, which could lead to flash flooding. Some of our northern counties could get around 2.5 inches, maybe even 3 inches as well. But we don't really have a whole lot going on besides that particular storm. And so, really, by and large, it is a slow-moving storm. And if we have to come back on, we will. But going to leave one last little opportunity for any questions y'all may have about where this storm might be headed, where the storm is. And I want to give a general note that if you're east of I-35, then generally you're going to be in the clear this evening. But anywhere else, like say in the hill country, especially northern Blanco County, southwestern Burnett, any part of Llano, maybe even northern Gillespie, you're going to want to watch this very, very closely. So I'm going to give a brief little bit for questions, but besides that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for right now because not really much has gone on here except for that particular large hail core that's continuing to weaken right now. And let's see. Yep, continuing to weaken as we speak. So I would expect this warning to be canceled here within the next few moments, depending on how this hail core is, unless we're getting wind reports that are pretty strong. And speaking of this, let's take a look at the velocity vectors right now to see where we are wind speed wise. And taking the warnings off. And we got around 31 miles an hour, so that's sub-severe, believe it or not. Let's put myself back in the boxes real quick so y'all can see that. 31 mile an hour winds, and we've also got negative 38 going in the other direction. So we're going to have to watch that for a little bit, see if there's any rotation, but I'm not really buying that right now based on how these storms are oriented. So before we go, we're going to show you all one more time the severe thunderstorm warning. It is for northwestern Llano until 9 p.m. However, we're tracking this storm moving very, very slowly. And we are seeing a bit of a weakening trend as well with this storm. So keep it here to KVU. We are going to have the latest on this. But for right now, I'll see y'all tonight at 10 with a full look at your forecast, including any other strong storms that may pop up. So please take care of yourself and each other. Have a good evening.